It depends on the context.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Quran.
Yeah.
You said in the beginning that there are two versions of the Quran. So can you please, please show me the other version?
Okay, can I speak now? Can I speak?
Yeah, but can you answer my
Okay,
question?
So my whole point I'm making to you, my brother. Okay, this I'm doing this so you can understand. What my point is, there's meant to be 7 different modes of reciting the Quran, right? 7 different modes. And this Quran is all apparently meant to be one Quran. There's no meaning changed whatsoever. But when I look at all these different Qurans we have, like let me explain. When we look at all these different Qurans we have, like the Nafi Quran, the Ibn Kathir Quran, the Yaqub Quran, the Abu Amir Quran, these are all people who recited the Quran differently. In Ibn Kathir's version of the Quran, Quran, it talks about killed, right? And if you go in the other one, like I believe the Hafs, one says combat. Killed and combat are 2 different words.
I agree.
Context changed.
And I agree. Let me explain.
Context changed.
Because you are quoting 2 different verses. 1 second, my brother. You are quoting
No,
two
it's the
different
same. It's the same verse. Chapter 3, 146. If you go,
It's the definition of the word of the qatala.
listen.
Qatala means you kill, you combat,
has
to
many
kill.
meanings.
Okay.
You can
So
fight
listen.
and you can kill.
So if you go to the if you go to that's what I'm saying. So which one's right though? Is it combat or is it kill? Which one's right? If the Quran is all one, if they are all the same, if there's one Quran, why do we have different words in different Quran? Which one's right?
No, there is no different Quran. You cannot say there are different Qurans.
Well, if one says combat, one says kill, there are 2 different Qurans.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Picking up the translation
How many
only.
Qurans are you quoting right now?
So there's
There's one.
There's one at the moment here I'm reading, but alongside that I'm reading the one of Ibn Kathir, Nafi,
Ibn Kathir,
Abu Amir,
listen to me.
Yaqub.
Okay, Ibn
Right?
Kathir-
These are qira'ats,
Okay, let me
right?
explain.
But they
Let me explain.
go on.
Ibn Kathir did not write the Quran.
He's a no,
He's an
not the scholar.
interpreter of
No,
the
not him. There's another one.
Okay,
There's
whatever
another one who
quoting-
recited the Quran.
Yeah.
And then you have
Quran-
Ibn Amir and
Let me
these
speak.
people who recite the
Let
Quran
me
as well.
speak,
Go on.
please. Okay, whatever you're quoting in the Arabic text,
Yeah.
it's the original. Ibn Kathir and all these are translations, like they're interpreters of what's written in Arabic.
Okay.
Okay. So the original Quran is only one. Okay, you can have different translations.
I'm not on about
like,
that,
like the
Ibn
Bible,
Kathir.
you have many translations of the
Yeah.
Bible. If he's French, he's German, you're gonna need to translate it to different languages. Yes or no?
Wait, I'm not on about.
Showing you
So
the definition,
no,
the meaning of it.
So
The
you
Quran
have
is still
you have
having in their hand,
Ibn
that's correct,
Kathir,
same
who's
Quran.
a translator of the
The same
Quran,
word.
and you also have Ibn Kathir who recited the Quran. You have people like Yaqub and Abu Amir who recited the Quran. But the thing is, if Muhammad came with one Quran, why? And he came with these 7 modes of recitation, and these apparently are all the same. Why? When I read these recitations, do they have words in there that change the whole meaning? I can give you another one. One says with Allah, and one says slaves of Allah. That's a big meaning as well.
These are different meanings
With
of the
Allah,
same text.
but in the same verse.
Yeah,
Same
smile,
verse.
smile.
With Allah and slaves of Allah.
Let's go back to the original claim. You said there is more than one Quran. Am I being honest now?
Yeah.
This is what you said. Tell me honestly, how many Qurans are you quoting right now?
Yeah.
Not interpretations,
Yeah.
but how many Qurans?
Separating only one
So
one.
okay.
Correct?
No. I brought the.
Talking about definition.
I brought the.
They found 32 Qurans.
One
They are
minute.
different
1 minute.
translations.
Only one.
The Arabic is the same. No, yeah.
Wait.
Different Quran, like different.
Wait, my brother. The thing is. I'm not quoting the interpreters. I'm quoting the recitations, and they have the They have their own copies of their Quran, and the things that they have wrote down do not match altogether. So that's the what. Like, I'm giving you another example. One says,
Don't give me example, okay?
One says
I'll
with
tell you what
Allah.
to do.
One says
Show me.
slave of Allah.
Okay, show me 2 copies that are different of the same Quran.
Yeah,
do it?
cool.
Arabic.
Of the, okay.
In Arabic.
In
Yeah,
Arabic,
okay.
Okay, go on.
So okay.
No, not so.
Would you agree?
Go on.
Okay. Would you agree that the recitation of Ibn Kathir, the recitation of
Recitation now. Respect
It does matter. It does matter because they all one Quran.
Discussion started because you said there's different versions.
Yes.
African person talking
It's-
English.
We're
No,
not
no,
talking about
it does.
recitations,
It does
we're not talking
matter.
about
It does matter.
interpretations, We're talking about different versions.
You want different versions, right?
Hafs and Warsh. Hafs and Warsh. The Hafs is
One minute.
Hafs is the Egyptian version. Warsh is the one they use in West Africa.
1 second.
Sure.
Look here. Okay. Here's one as well. Yeah.
What verse is this?
I'm not sure. There's a YouTube channel, Sira International. They have a video where they go through the differences between the Hafs and Warsh Qurans.
Okay, look at this difference. I'm gonna get okay. Look at this difference. Look at this difference. Okay, in one Quran. Okay, if you okay, because the Qur'ans of Ibn Kathir, Ibn Amir, and Abu Ja'far and Yaqub, these are all part of the one Quran. That's why I'm telling you there's different versions of the Quran. Because if you look at in this Quran, the Hafs one says who are servants of the All Merciful. Nafi, Ibn Kathir, Ibn Amir, these are who recitations of the Quran, where you guys say there's a one Quran, read it as with the All Merciful. So one says servants of the All Merciful, one says with the All Merciful. That's another difference.
Okay. What you're talking about now is in English. With is an English word, right? And the other word you said is
Are the English Quran wrong?
Okay, no, I'm not saying it's wrong.
Okay, so why can you talk about English then?
I'm talking about the original Arabic text. Is it the same? Yes or no? It's a simple question.
The original, okay, no, because diacritical marks were added on later on, so they're not all the same.
You're jumping just from one
The
topic to
original,
another.
you don't have the originals.
We do have an original.
What's the earliest
The one you're
manuscript?
translating from is the
No,
original.
the original Qurans, the ones I'm reading to you, the ones you guys are reading in this early day, is the one with the diacritical marks.
Okay.
Right, the originals without the
because-
diacritical marks, you don't have like the
They
you don't have the
they
earliest
don't have the dots, I
copy.
agree,
Yeah.
because they knew how to read it. It's made easier now, so we can read it. But
So
it
why are
doesn't
you making
change
a
the
claim that
meaning.
you have all the original Quran when you didn't have
It's the
them?
same Quran. the
It's
same
not.
Quran.
It's not because the diacritical marks change the meaning.
How you teach a kid to read for the first time.
The diacritical marks change the
Yeah,
meaning.
no, it doesn't
Yes, they
change.
do.
It's the same reading.
So why does one say with Allah
Yeah,
and
this
one
is-
say servants of Allah?
This is in English. This,
Yeah,
what you're
because
saying-
they're translating it from the diacritical marks.
Yeah, Smiley, just going around in a circle. How many versions are there of the Arabic text?
Of the Arabic text.
Yes.
So okay,
you- no,
I'm
don't
gonna
tell me so.
yeah, I'm
Answer
gonna
the question.
answer. Okay, cool. So what I want to tell you my premise, what I believe first, what I'm trying to get out. The original Qurans, where you're saying that you have all the original Qurans. I believe that you don't have any of the original Qurans survive, because in your early Islamic sources, there's a guy who burned all these copies. You have people,
Uthman bin Affan.
you have people in going to battles losing the Quranic copies. I don't believe these manuscripts survive, because the earliest manuscript we have is a little parchment. It's a Birmingham manuscript. There's only like 3 surahs in. Okay. And then the later manuscripts we have, like the full copy we have that match today, is the one with the diacritical marks. So I believe they have the ones that the copies with the diacritical marks. I believe that they have survived, and they are the same today, not the ones without the diacritical marks.
The Sanaa palimpsest, is that older than the Birmingham folio or later?
The Birmingham's earliest. The Sana
Okay. The
later.
Sanaa's after that?
Later.
But it's still pre-Uthman, right?
Yeah, and the Sana manuscript. There's even some where it's in the Sana
Okay,
manuscript.
there's manuscript variants.
I can show you the Sana some Quranic.
These marks that you're talking
Yeah,
about,
they change the meaning.
no, they don't change the
They
meaning.
do.
They just help us to know how to pronounce
So
it.
why is it with one word, right? When one had one in that verse I'm showing
What
you.
you're talking about is the translation.
Yeah.
What did he mean?
So okay, in Surah 43 verse
I asked you one
19.
question and you couldn't
Yeah,
answer.
in Surah
Show me two
43:19, I'm showing you Surah 43:19. Okay, let's get it up. Please explain to me why there's a difference.
Just show me 2 versions of the same Quran.
Yeah, this is okay.
He did.
So I don't believe so what I believe, all the Hafs Quran you have, they are the same. All the Duri Quran you have, they all the same. What I'm trying to argue with, all these different versions like Ibn Kathir, Amir, Nafi, they don't match.
Just going in circles, yeah?
I'm not going to say this.
Can you show me?
Yeah, this one. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, the one Quran says,
Muhammad sinned.
who are servants of the All Merciful.
Moses.
The other read it as who are with the All Merciful. That's the difference. If I say you are servants of the All Merciful or you are with the All Merciful, that's a big difference.
Jesus Christ.
In what language are you speaking?
It's been translated, my brother, to English.
So what you're talking about is translation.
You want English? Okay, you can read it in Arabic as well. Yeah.
Show me 2 versions
You
that
can
are
read it.
different in
Okay.
Arabic.
You can read in Arabic. So
Give me, I'll read it.
okay. Okay, I remember this verse very clearly, okay? One says ibadu, right? And the other one, it says, I believe it says inda or
Show me
indu.
the other one.
I haven't got the copies on me. I'm showing, so that's,
where's the other one?
yeah, I'm showing,
Where's your point?
I'm showing it because it's being translated by a scholar called John Bridges.
Again, you're talking about
John
translation.
Bridges, yeah, he's a scholar. He's translated it from
care about John Bridges.
Arabic to English.
Okay.
Are you going to listen to me or a scholar? He's a scholar.
I don't even care about the scholar.
Are you a scholar? So why should I listen
I'm
to you
not a
then?
scholar. I'm
Why
not
should
a
I listen to
scholar.
you?
I don't listen to me.
Just see if you can find the Warsh Quran online somewhere.
No,
You can show
I've
him
got
that.
them. I've got them right down here. It's don't.
Can you show him? Can you show him side by
You
side?
can't.
the
You can't.
Hafs and the
You can't
Warsh?
do that. No, you can't do that. So the thing is, this
Just
chat.
told him not to do that because you know that's not
Yeah.
true.
We haven't got because we haven't got it. I haven't got it. You know this is it, my bro. This guy is a scholar. He's translated the Arabic and he's looked at these words in Arabic and they do not match. Hence, he's translated it from servants. What? Do what?
He couldn't.
Yeah, I said that's why it says servant and one says with.
See if I can, yeah.
You can't do. You have to get them fully. I got the full 7 copies at home. I can show you. I brought them up last couple weeks ago.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
Find it online.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a picture.
See, when you think you're only
Let me show you. What if I show you? Then what? You're gonna apologize. You're gonna apologize if I show you.
right and wrong in your
Am I gonna
life.
apologize?
If I show you.
It's not
Why would we
your-
apologize?
You already error in your ways.
What are we apologizing
God
for?
Yo.
wants to give us peace. Jesus said, "My peace,
Just down there. Look. This.
not
Look.
the peace of the world." Everybody's finding peace.
Try this one. This is a
It's
Muslim,
it. No, I've
this
got it.
one's a Muslim website.
I've got it here. It's my own.
Okay.
Their team,
Okay,
hope their
look.
team wins.
You can watch this one right here. There's me with all my copies of the Quran. And I'm reading in Arabic as well. Go to this video and you will see me reading out the differences.
Alone through Jesus Christ.
But either way, I'm not a scholar.
That's why
Yeah.
Jesus said,
I'm not a scholar. You're not a scholar. John Bridges is a scholar who's translated the Arabic. He knows Arabic and he's translated it into English and he says the words don't match. One says with Allah and one says servants of Allah. That's a big difference.
"You and
It's not.
I
It's a translation.
have no forgiveness."
What do you mean? Define what interpretation means.
It's a word that's
Yeah.
being interpreted in 2 different meanings. That does
No,
not mean,
that's not his.
does mean it's been
That's not his
changed.
field. Yeah, that's
That
not.
is
In
not-
Arabic, do you know?
Well, what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
one says ibadah, and one says inda, something like that, right?
Catholic
Something
Church.
like that.
Yeah.
No, you need to get it for me.
Yeah,
I
watch
can
the
tell you.
video. And in John Bridges, who's a scholar, he says these
Why are
words.
we basing our arguments on the scholar?
So why should I listen to you? You're not a scholar. We should listen to scholars.
I'm not claiming I am.
Okay, so let's be humble and let's listen to what scholars say. One says with Allah and one says servant to Allah. You can go and search it up yourself.
There's so many other scholars out there that agree with what we're saying.
I don't know it's not Muslim. I don't believe it's Muslim.
Something
So give me okay. Let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question. Prove to me the Quran you have is from the time of Muhammad then.
the word.
So let me ask you guys a question. Prove to me the Quran you have is from the time of Muhammad. Why should I believe the Quran you have today is from the time of Muhammad?
Testified about
From which
Jesus.
religion are you?
I'm Christian.
Can you prove to
The
me that
word.
the Bible
Yeah.
is the same one
Yes, the
Okay.
word
has been sent down to Jesus?
Cool. First of all, we don't believe the Bible was sent down to Jesus.
was in the beginning.
Jesus said things. He said parables. He had teachings. The disciples who were with Jesus wrote them down. We had prophets from the Old Testament who wrote stories and messages from God, and then later on they all compiled. We have manuscripts from the 4th century, right? And even the Dead Sea Scrolls that date around many years before Christ, centuries before Christ, and they match to what we have today, the Bible. Well, it was written before. We have the Bible means biblios, so there's many books. And they were written before Christ, and they were written after Christ as well. So it's a compilation of a library.
Second testimony.
Yeah.
When it has been written.
Yeah. So it was the earliest gospel. The earliest gospel we have is the Gospel of Mark. The early gospel was written around 60 AD. And the early parchment we have of that is, I believe, it's around the 2nd century, first, 2nd century, something like that.
Okay, and how many versions do you have of the Bible?
Yeah. So I can confess to you, right? I can confess to you. We have different versions, right? But they don't affect the message of Christianity. I confess that. Show me one.
If you say you have different versions of the Bible, then how do you have a problem if we have different translations of the Quran?
Yeah, cool. Because the thing is, these versions that we have, some are based on earlier manuscripts, some are based on later manuscripts, but they don't affect the meaning of Christianity. Okay, I can give you an example.
You have
Yeah.
Catholics.
I'll give you one example.
You have
Yeah.
Orthodox.
Yeah.
And they all have different dates.
Yeah. So okay, cool. And I would like to explain that. But the main doctrine of Catholic Orthodoxy and like people being Protestant is that Christ is God, God being triune, and Christ was crucified and he rose from the dead. And Christ is the Son of God. This is the main doctrine. Wait. This is the main doctrine. This is the main doctrine of Christianity. And this is the same throughout all the books in the Bible, the Catholics, the Protestants, and the Orthodoxy. It's the same. Nothing affects the meaning of Christianity. Some people believe like some books are inspired, some people believe that some books weren't inspired. None of them affect the message of Christianity. We still hold to all 66 books.
And then what about evangelicals?
Yeah, we believe it's the same.
You're same?
Yes.
They do not believe that God is this is God.
Evangelicals.
Yeah.
Well, that's you're about Unitarians. Okay, now, but I just want to ask you. Okay, one question. Why should I believe the Quran is preserved?
Because if you go anywhere around the world, and if you burn all the copies of the Quran, you'll find someone in Malaysia who learned it by heart. You go to the USA, you'll find the same one reciting.
Okay.
Everyone.
But
Tell me one Christian who has memorized the Bible from cover to cover.
Okay. Some people memorize Harry Potter. Some people might memorize poems. Doesn't mean it to be true, does it?
Nobody memorized Harry Potter.
Some people, in school, the people in English
They
school.
memorize the whole Harry Potter.
Yeah, in English school, people do that. Poems for exams, they do that.
There are millions of
In exams.
Millions of Muslims.
So why are there different readings? Why are there different readings?
Translations, not readings.
Okay, it's with and servant. That's a big difference.
That's a translation.
That's a big difference.
Just going in circles. You just want to
With
prove a point
and
that's
servant
not
is a big difference.
there. Yeah, that's a translation.
It's not. It's a recitation.
Okay.
It's a recitation.
My friend.
And this recitation is meant to be all the same.
Arabic is the same. Arabic is the same. The translation is different. Yes, and you know it.
John Bridges is an Arabic scholar.
Anyways, nice to meet you.
Okay. So John Bridges. Okay. That's okay. We're good. Okay.
I'm not done with you yet.
Any Muslims can answer this question?
Bye-bye.
Can any Muslim? Okay. Can any Muslims prove to me the Quran we have today is from the time of Muhammad? I'm going to read out different readings of the Quran. So these fellow Muslims, are you guys Muslims? Come here, my brother. Come here, my brother. Come here, my brother. Come on. Come here, brother. Okay. Okay. Why are there many different readings of the Quran? One says master, one says king. I'll get you another one, my brother. One says deceive, one says yet they try to deceive none. One says lie, one says they used to disbelieve. Which Quran is right, my brother? Which one is right? All of them. Why? How can they all be right? Which one was given to Muhammad?
Everlasting life. You know what everlasting
No, it's not. Because an Arabic scholar, this is an Arabic scholar, he's translated it, who knows the words in Arabic, and he's looked into the Arabic, and when you look at the actual meanings of the words, they do not match. Like, for example,
As far as I know, I'm not a scholar in any way. You know a lot more than I do. But the Arabic language is...
That's a yellow card.
Oh, you can do it. I think the Arabic language is supposedly, it's got a root words, isn't it?
A yellow, an American card.
Yeah.
So the root words
That's a yellow card
have
for you.
a sort of several
What's
different
that?
meanings
You're high.
all in a row. I don't know what they are, so like master and king. What's the word? What's the
Well, the word, one says Maliki and one says Malik.
That's in Surah
Fatiha.
And you can say both.
Any religion.
What's this?
No.
Okay, so why? Okay,
What happens when
what
you
about
get
you want to write? Yeah.
in your
What about
area?
what about Surah 47, 43 verse 19?
So that one, I think, are they both
Where'd you
supposed
get
to
that
be
turd
correct?
sticking out?
The original, if you look at the original manuscripts, right, this is what I'm trying to make to you. These diacritical marks we have of the Quran, they were added on later on,
Right there.
and these diacritical marks changed the meaning. Muhammad's Quran, the companions' Quran, they never read it with the diacritical marks. The diacritical marks came much later on, and they changed the meanings. So the Quran you guys are reading in your mosque, the one you guys are reading is the one with the hadakas, with the marks on. And so you guys are not reading the Quran from the time of Muhammad. So you're going against what Allah's command is and what Muhammad's command is.
So what do you and I agree on?
Yeah.
If he,
And 43 verse 19. 43 verse
if
19.
he was courteous, he would have went over there, not in front of me. But he's
Malika,
not.
Yeah, so.
Malika and
Go over
Malika.
there.
Huh?
Thank you, sir.
That one that we're talking about.
Yeah.
The
Further.
Malik.
Yeah.
Malik. So you can say both. When I'm in the mosque.
Yeah.
You've got different people. Guest speakers will come. Guest imams will come.
Yeah.
And they will say their famous.
What about Surah 43 verse 19? Because that's a big one.
Talk about this one.
No, but I brought up two. I
know, but we're
Yeah.
talking about this one. We talk about that one if you want. But they both have the same meaning. So the meaning hasn't changed. So the original word has lots of those meanings. Means king, means master.
So which one was the one that Muhammad recited? And he said,
I wasn't there.
so that's the thing, because you were not there, you do not know the Quran. You recited from today is the time for Muhammad.
No, but, from the point of view of Islam, it's been sent down in the normal tradition.
So,
isn't it?
but, okay.
So
the,
it may have been, and I think I'm not. Sorry,
where's my mic?
he's got it. The one, yeah, sorry.
Oh.
The one with the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha, the one that says Maliki, right? The one that says Maliki, when was that written?
I don't know.
Because Hafs, Walsh, Duri, right? I can get you the list, right? They came much years after, Let me get you the list, right? Where's it going?
So as I understood that the Prophet recited in
7 different ways, right?
Both of them. So I'm just talking about that one. So he recited both ways.
So if you look at Walsh,
If we go,
he existed in 728 AD, right? If you look at Hafs, he was born in 706 AD. If you look at Abu Hamza, he would have existed later from the time after Muhammad as well. So all these recitations that you're reading, they existed much later from the time of Muhammad. So how do you know that the Quran that they have from the time of Muhammad as well?
let's turn this the other way. Then let's say that Maliki, the Hafs was Miliki. That might have a different meaning, but it's not. So they've only chosen those two.
But how do you know that the Qurans that they are reciting? How do you know that the Qurans that they are reciting? For example, the Hafs Qiraat, the Duri Qiraat, the Walsh Qiraat, because they came years after Muhammad, right? They weren't even there from the time when Muhammad is reading the Quran. So how do you know that the Quran that they are reading is the same as the time of Muhammad? I'm asking you the question.
Tradition, isn't it? That's why.
The oral tradition, right?
It might have been written then. It
Yeah.
might be what we think.
But
it
many
started.
memorizers died. They lost their copies are burned because they weren't relying on oral tradition. They were relying on mushafs, because when they were memorizing the Qurans, they then wrote them down in mushafs. And these mushafs, we don't have any copies of them, so you can't really say that oral tradition was any value.
But that's the thing. It doesn't have to be a copy because it's an oral tradition.
Yeah, but it was written down in mushafs, so they weren't relying on oral tradition mainly. They were reciting it, and then they were writing down in mushafs. They were looking at mushafs.
It might also be written down written down, but the main thing is an oral tradition. So, for example, the Imam at my place, he can go back and say, "This is my teacher, this is his teacher, this is his teacher."
So if the oral tradition really was of value, right? This is a hadith of Sahih.
You hear what I said?
Yeah, I'm getting you. It's a hadith in Sahih Bukhari 4784. So this is what it says: when we collected the manuscript of the Quran, I missed one of the verses of Surah Al-Azab, which I used to hear Allah's Messenger reading. Finally, I did not find it with anybody except Khuza ibn al-Ansari, whose witness was considered by Allah's Messenger. So we can see clearly here, if they really were relying on oral tradition, why weren't the companions relying on oral tradition? They were relying on the mushaf, they were relying on copies. When they were,
That might be just one hadith.
when they were
That's not all of it.
we're basing our whole conversation is based on the compilation of the Quran and stuff like that. When they were compiling the Quran, they were basing it on mushaf. They weren't basing it on oral tradition. If they were basing it on oral tradition, we wouldn't see this hadith. This hadith is talking about where somebody was collecting the copies, right? And there's one verse which was not on anybody else's copies. It was only in one companion's copies. Why is this? If the oral tradition really was successful, why was this verse missing in everybody else's mushafs, but only found on one companion's?
I don't know. You tell me.
I believe because the Quran is corrupt. I believe because Muhammad passed away, these manuscripts were burned. People died in these battles. I believe because people sometimes it's like Chinese whispers as well. When you're reciting something, some people can say something. I believe that somebody may have miswrote something and misheard something, and hence that we see one verse being missing and only being found with one companion.
But I'm not as knowledgeable as you are, so I can't debate that particular hadith with you. I'm really sorry, but there might well be a good explanation for that. You have to speak to somebody with more knowledge. But all I know is that, from the point of view of what the Quran is, it's got these base words like Malaki. So why, if you're saying, that it's so corrupt, it's been 1500 years, why has Malaki been changed to Muliki and Miliki? And
because that's what I'm saying. Because what I'm trying to say to you is the original copies of Muhammad, they are not survived. The later copies, like the copies of Hafs, Walsh, the Uthmanic codexes, they have survived. The codexes you have now, the Hafs and Walsh, right? They are from the time of, they have been copied from the Uthmanic codexes. So I believe they have survived, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't believe the Muhammad codexes, they have been survived, because Uthman, he banned all of them. He banned all of the copies. Also we see here...
weren't they burnt because the ones that were survived were confirmed at the time as being the most authentic?
So they were burned, because there was many... The reason why they were burned is because there were many different readings that were scattered around the world. And there's also Uthman even say to Zaynab bin Thabit, like, if you disagree with somebody, something, then have a burn and stuff like that. But this is what Uthman also did. In Sahih Bukhari 5036, right? I said to Uthman, this verse, which is in Surah Al-Baqarah, those of you who die and leave widows behind, without turning them out, has been abrogated by another verse. Why then do you write it in the Quran? Uthman said, leave it where it is, O son of my brother, for I will not shift anything of it. So there's somebody who said you should not have this verse in the Quran, and Uthman is saying, yeah, you should have this verse in the Quran. They have divisions about that as well. Like, who's right about that?
I think you've got to leave the Quran as it is. That's
Sahih Bukhari 50.
Against what you're saying, they didn't change it.
No, people who like the companions of Muhammad, right, and the followers of Muhammad, they were saying to Uthman, like, this verse has been abrogated. This should not be in the Quran.
Who said it was abrogated?
I need to check who wrote that. Let me get the actual hadith. But then Uthman said,
how can you abrogate the Quran?
there's abrogation in the Quran, right, where Allah replaces verses with better verses.
Oh, right, okay.
And then so there's an abrogation, and the companion said, no, this should be in the Quran. And Uthman said no, this I've not shifted anything out of it. Sahih Bukhari.
Well, it was a big show last week. Obviously, ages comes at great expense.
Oh, they're all set up in the bike path. Oh, okay.
Angels are considered more than human. Jesus is considered more than human. Holy man is considered more than human.
So the person who said it was Ibn Zubair. No, he narrated it. It's not really saying who said it, but I believe it must have been a companion of Muhammad. And this companion of Muhammad said that this verse, this abrogated verse of the Quran, should be in the Quran. And Uthman said, leave it. But we also see Ibn Masud and Uthman, they are disagreeing with each other. Uthman said, Ibn Masud is saying, why is Uthman compiling the Quran, or why is he doing all these things? Right? There's we also see a disagreement there. That's in Tirmidhi. I'll get that one up as well. So this is in Tirmidhi, in Tirmidhi 3104, right? It says, I missed an ayat or surah al-Azab. Then I heard the Messenger of Allah reciting, among the believers are men who have been true to their covenant with Allah. Of them, some have fulfilled their obligations, and some of them are still waiting. So I searched for it and find Abu Khuzaymah bin Thabit, or Abu Khuzaymah. So I put it in the surah Az-Zuri. And then Az-Zuri said they differed then with At-Tawbat and At-Tawbah. The Quraysh said At-Tawbat was Zayd At-Tawbu. So one said Tawbut and one said At-Tawbu. Right, so this is in Tirmidhi, and we see Ibn Masud been angry with Uthman for taking all these different recitations and burning codex and stuff like that. So we see like there's many divisions.
It's a good discussion.
There's many divisions happening in in early Islamic history. People don't agree with some verses and some words.
It was a good discussion during that time to make sure that they got the correct versions that they kept, rather than
Because Muhammad, you know what Muhammad said. But what did Muhammad say? Muhammad said you should learn the Quran from Masood and Ibn Ka'b and Malik and Muada. There's 4 companions who you should learn the Quran from. And here Ibn Masood is saying this. Abdullah, this was written. Abdullah ibn Masood disliked Zayn ibn Thabit copying the Musaf. And he said, "O you Muslim people, I am removed from recording the transcription of the Musaf, and it was overseen by a man." So we have Ibn Masood, who was the closest companion of Muhammad, disagreeing what Uthman is doing. Would you rather listen to what Uthman is doing or Ibn Masood is doing? So I would rather follow the companions of Ibn Masood than Uthman. I suggest you to go study, learn, and you maybe should come back. Yeah. It was nice talking to my brother.
Good to see you.
Thank you, my brother.
Can you summarize?
That was yeah.
Take off the microphone.
Okay, so I was basically having a discussion about the preservation of the Quran, the different variants of the Quran, and they were all just like, just trying to waffling about, weren't really like giving solid answers. They're saying these are interpretations and translations and stuff like that. I even brought them Arabic scholars like John Bridges, who translated the Quran, who knows the Arabic, and he even says that there's different meanings in these Qurans. Then I showed in the early Islamic history how there's many companions, many people having division over verses, over codexes, over mushafs, and whatnot, over words of the Quran. There's many. And I talked to them about the original copies. They don't have any original copies of Muhammad. These later Qurans they're reading came much years later from the time of Muhammad. But yeah, that was the conversation, and yeah, I hope they come. I hope they come.
The family is asking, when are you gonna create your own YouTube channel so that everybody can support you, follow you, and all that good stuff?
I don't know about starting YouTube channel. Yeah, but maybe later on in life.
Come on.
But yeah, may the work of the Lord continue here.
Remind the family about your testimony though. Who are you? Because they might say, oh, who's Ish? So remind the family, who's Ish? Who's Ish?
Now, basically, I'm a child of God by the grace of God, and I gave my life to Christ in 2020. And I come to this park because when I came to this park, the Muslims started recording me, saying, "Oh, he's a fake Muslim. He's a fake. He's like, he's not a Muslim." They started recording me, and because of them, my community disowned me. I had to leave my hometown behind. I had to run away from my hometown. And because of that, the Muslims hated me. So because of that, I feel there's so much deception going on in this park, and Islam has so much deception behind it, and the da'is are lying, and the real Islam has to come to light, has to come to be exposed. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. By the way, that's Ish family.